Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope your Tuesday is going fantastically so far. And this is Joy Hansen, and it is day 89 of my 100-day challenge, and potentially your 100-day challenge if you're doing one. But if you're watching me, then you're doing one anyway, so yay you. So today's hot tip is face your fear. So what is fear anyway? I should probably roll up my window. So the definition of fear is an uncomfortable emotion triggered by, I'm trying to remember the definition. It's written on the seat next to me, but that's very dangerous. Triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. So, the definition of fear: an unpleasant emotion triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. So why is this important? Why is it important to face our fear? So fear is something that we deal with every single day, whether it is someone cuts us off and it's close enough that it triggers fear in us, or there's fear of being unhealthy. Maybe something happened and you felt a growth and you're like, that's scary. Or fear of being hurt in a relationship. So we deal with it every single day, and fear is what lives at the outside of our comfort zone. So we've got our little comfort zone, and anytime that people try to go out of their comfort zone, there's going to be fear. Fear is actually something that is innate in us, and it is to draw our attention, to bring heightened focus on the thing. So when we feel fear, the calling from our body, what the body is asking for is focus. So it's important to understand fear. It's important to understand what fear does to people and how people respond. It's also really important to understand how you respond to fear. And so that we can all get along. It's really helpful in communication. So when people are afraid, whatever triggers it, something happens and suddenly, they go into fear. What happens is they go into fight or flight. And when that happens, the mind goes back to some call it the reptilian mind. It's the little part of the mind, and it's at the back of the head. And when people go to that place, the only options that are available it's basically freeze, flight, or fight. So, that part of the brain has survived bear attacks and lion attacks, and it's run away from danger its whole life. And so it's like, I know how to do this. I know how to get out of fear. So that's what's available back there at that brain when people get scared. And so what they do not have access to is this part of the brain. Do you see how it's bigger? So this is where creativity happens. This is where conscious thinking happens. This is where we actually get to make up a choice rather than a reaction. And so when people are in the fight or flight mode, and this is important for understanding other humanoids, there's many different responses that can happen, but what they are is they're reactions. So when we're up here in our frontal cortex and our big brain, where we actually get to have nice feeling thoughts, we were like, what you did there made me feel really uncomfortable, and what I'd like you to do instead next time, if it's possible for you, is blah, blah, blah. What the back of the brain does, the little brain, all it does is react. It's a computer program that has logged in multiple experiences of successful survival techniques. And it's like, okay, so you're afraid. I'm going to go ahead and get this computer program, and this is the one we're going to use. So it reacts automatically, without thinking, without creativity, just reacts. And so each person's reactions, depending on their consciousness levels, is very different, and depending on what they have gone through, what they've survived, what experiences they've had as a child, our reactions, our responses get programmed very, very early on. Most of our behavior and thinking gets programmed by the age of 7. And so people have survived crazy shit. I just have to say it that way. Crazy. They have survived crazy stuff. And so it really helps in being compassionate and being able to understand people and communicate with people, knowing that they're reacting from stuff that has happened in their life and they're doing the best they can. We're all doing the best that we can. And so, I gotta figure out where to go from here. I need to turn the page, but I'm driving. Let's see, where am I now? So, why is it important? It's important so that we can communicate, and also to know ourselves and really understand how we can better communicate, and knowing what it is that triggers our fear. I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety lately, and so I've been really identifying not so much where the anxiety is coming from, but I've been practicing taking deep breaths, which is great because I just finished yoga. But as I breathe deeply into my emotions, whatever they are, I think the anxiety is a fear of not wanting to feel that painful emotion. I think it's what it is. Because, the thing about fear is often we're more afraid of being afraid of the thing than actually the thing itself. Like when I am doing a presentation, I am way more scared thinking about giving my presentation than after I've actually got up there and started my presentation. Then it's like no big deal. So, taking a deep breath, it's that focus piece that we just talked about. Focusing on the fear and bringing our full attention to, okay, body and mind and soul, what is it that you're needing in this moment? And the avoiding of, that emotion is what causes anxiety and fear around, like, oh, I don't know. I'm too afraid to feel that feeling, so I'm just going to keep avoiding it. So, how do we resolve this? What's our solution here? So, that's today's hot tip. Thanks for being with me on the turbulence there. And tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m., to find out how we resolve this fear. How do we get to work through this and be able to communicate better with the people that we love around us and with ourselves, who we love. And I love you. I hope you have a fantastic day. Make it a great one. Face your fear. Remember to breathe deeply into your belly, and stay tuned tomorrow to get the solution on how to face our fear. Have a great day.